So, the race at Watkins Glen ended pretty quietly on the track. But the second the cameras turned to pit road, all heck broke loose. Bubba Wallace climbed out of his car, walked straight up to Christopher Bell, and started letting him have it right there in front of everyone. This wasn't a quick handshake or a friendly chat. This was Bubba waving his hands around, talking fast, and clearly mad about something. Fox and FS1 cameras caught the whole thing near Victory Lane. Even Kevin Harvick, sitting up in the Fox booth, took one look and said, "I don't think we're good right here." When Harvick says that, you know it's serious. Let's back up and talk about how we got here. Sunday's race was the Go Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen International on the 10th of May, 2026. It was 100 laps around a 2, 4, 5-mile road course. Honestly, it wasn't the most exciting race. Shane Van Gisbergen, who drives for Trackhouse Racing, just ran away with it. The guy started from the pole on his birthday weekend. Then he made a late pit stop and dropped 29 seconds behind the leaders. You'd think he was done, right? Nope. He drove all the way back through the field and still won by 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Nobody else stood a chance. Some folks are calling Shane the best road course racer NASCAR has ever seen, but other people are starting to wonder if him winning every road race is actually good for the sport. Here's the thing. NASCAR's TV numbers are already kind of weak this year, and when one guy dominates every single road course while finishing mid-pack everywhere else, the casual fan watching at home gets bored. Until Shane wins on a regular oval track, a lot of fans just aren't going to connect with him. He's a great driver from a different racing background, and he's tough to root for if you don't know him yet. But Shane's win, what we have other than the story everyone was talking about Sunday night. Not even close. The story was Bubba. Bubba Wallace had a rough day. He drives the number 23 Hardys and Coca-Cola Toyota for 2311 Racing. He couldn't find any speed on the road course at all. The whole day, he was fighting that car. He picked up just one stage point. Then things got even worse late in the race. With about 15 laps to go, John Hunter Nemechek got into the back of him and spun him out in turn 1. Bubba ended up finishing 29th. Christopher Bell didn't have a great day either. He drives the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing, and he spent most of the race stuck in traffic. He finished 21st. So both guys were already in a bad mood. But here's where it gets interesting. With about 8 laps to go, Bubba was told to come down pit road. He was running ahead of Bell and Todd Gilliland at the time, and both of them were right on his bumper. As the group ran through the back half of the track and headed toward the front straight, Bell got a big run on Bubba. Bell pulled up alongside Bubba's right side just as they came out of the final turn and headed for pit road. Now, Bell's spotter told him over the radio, the number 23 is pitting. But the problem was, Bell was already right next to Bubba by that point. Some reports say Bubba's own team didn't tell him quickly enough that Bell was coming up on his right side. That little mix-up may have messed up Bubba's positioning at a really important moment in the race. A lot of people think that's what set Bubba off. So after the race, while the top finishers were doing their interviews, Bubba climbed out of his car and went looking for Bell. The FS1 cameras swung over to pit road and caught the whole thing. Bubba was animated, talking with his hands, pleading his case. It was mostly one-sided too. Bubba did almost all the talking. Bell just stood there, calm as can be in his usual quiet way. He barely reacted at all. Then something pretty interesting happened. Bubba started to walk away, but then Bell said something back to him, and whatever it was made Bubba turn right around and come back for more. They went at it again for another few moments before finally walking off in different directions. There was no shoving, no fighting, nothing physical, just a lot of words. The official NASCAR on Fox Twitter account posted the video with the caption, "A post-race chat for Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell," along with those eyeball emojis that said it all. The internet went crazy. Fans started guessing at what happened. Was it the pit road thing? Was it something else from earlier? Did Bubba get Bell mixed up with Nemechek, the guy who actually spun him out? Nobody knew for sure. That's when Bubba's spotter, Freddie Kraft, stepped in. Freddie's a pretty popular guy in NASCAR. He's got that podcast called Door Bumper Clear, and he's known for telling it like it is. He jumped on social media and shut down the rumors fast. He wrote, "You shouldn't speculate. Bubba wasn't mad at Bell." Pretty clear, right? But here's the weird part. Freddie didn't say what the conversation actually was about. He just said it wasn't about Bell, which kind of makes you wonder. If Bubba was that fired up and it wasn't about Bell, then what was it about? Freddie said the frustration came from a bad finish overall, not anger at Christopher Bell. But people are still scratching their heads. Here's why this whole thing is a bigger deal than your usual driver argument. Bubba and Christopher Bell aren't from rival teams. They're basically on the same side. 23XI Racing and Joe Gibbs Racing have a team alliance. Both teams run Toyotas. They share information. They help each other out. So when two Toyota drivers from allied teams have a public dust-up on national TV, that's not normal. That's a real story. Most NASCAR analysts think this thing is going to blow over pretty fast. Post-race emotions run hot, especially after a bad day at a tough road course. Bubba got to speak his piece. Bell had his say too. And with the All-Star race at Dover coming up this weekend, both guys have bigger things to worry about. It's also worth mentioning this isn't Bubba's first dust-up of the 2026 season. Not by a long shot. He triggered the big one at Talladega earlier in the year, taking out over 30 cars in a massive Stage 2 wreck. Then at Martinsville, he tangled with Carson Hocevar with less than 80 laps to go and set off another huge multi-car crash, leaving him with his second straight DNF. Even Kevin Harvick and Kyle Petty called him out for that one. So Bubba's been finding the spotlight a lot.